Um, yeah. Hi. Sorry, I don't really uh know what to say, in all honesty. Yeah,
Did you want
sorry. A little.
did you want me to ask questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, first it is Zach. It is round five. Um, yeah. So I guess let's talk about. I think the reason maybe you wanted to do a live confessional maybe about last night. A lot happened during last night's vote. Last night's vote was a very. It seemed like there was a lot of emotions. There was a lot of things happening on call, a lot of things happening off call, in the main chat, and I guess talk to us a little bit about what was going on, since that's been the most recent thing.
Um, okay, so I let me situate it like this so you can actually like see me and I'm actually looking at the camera. Hi. Um, last night was wild. I need to apologize to Lana for kind of breaking down a little bit there. But so the vote ended up being a 4-4-2 vote. And I was one of the fours. And then, so since it tied, I had to go to a revote. And then the vote ended up being 5-5. So the two people that voted Brandon, one of them switched to me, one of them switched to Alex, which I can't recall for the life of me who those two were. I don't know who the two that were in my group that flipped. I think it was Caitlin and someone else. Um, but and then we went to Rocks, or I didn't go to Rocks. I was safe, but they went to Rocks. They went to Rocks for me. Ah, that has never happened before. I'll get to the thing you're probably gonna want me to talk about in a minute, but they went to Rocks for me, and it on one point it felt good, but on the other point, Blake got rocked out, who was loyal to me. So that's a little depressing. Um, but yeah, I just don't. Oh wait, the vote couldn't have been 4-4-3 because I mean the vote couldn't be 4-4-2 because there are 11 people voting. So it was 4-4-3. Yeah. Yeah, it was 4-4-3. Holy shit. That was a weird ass vote. Um, so, hmm. Wait, that, huh. Then how did that tie work? I'm trying to rack. It's been 12 hours. I'm trying to rack my brain around how the numbers worked. So, four people voted me, four people voted Alex, three people voted Brandon. Braden voted Alex, but so and then it came down to So in the midst of that, one vote was taken out because it was 5-5. But then Alex and I couldn't have voted. So how is it 5-5 if Alex and I could not have voted? Am, am I stupid? Wait, wait a second. Hold on.
These are why we do live confessionals. These are live, thinking and letting your thoughts out and processing.
There are 11 votes. 11 people voting. But then after the tie, is someone able to use an extra vote at the tie on the revote? Can this be a montage, like after the season of just me sitting here being confused?
I'm enjoying it, to be honest.
Good. I, what the fuck happened? Here's why I like causing the chaos because I know what's happening. I know why things are happening. But if my two votes, me and Oakley, if our two votes were the thing that set off everything, like that makes me feel good. But at the same time, I caused a blindside onto myself. And then I almost got voted out. But people went to rocks. These people are crazy. I thought I was a lunatic. But like I can't figure the vote situation out. This pisses me off. And none of my allies really want to talk game right now. Oakley's stressed the fuck out because he decided to pick an argument with Alex last night. So I don't really feel comfortable bringing this up to him. I don't really want to bring it up to Brayden because like we have a really close personal relationship where we barely talk game, and so that'll be. And then Caitlin is saying that she self voted. Where's the self vote? Where's that? Where's the self vote? I didn't see your name written down. What the fuck?
Welcome to Ascendance.
Shut your whore mouth. But so I did want to address probably the elephant in the room um, about how Corey publicly stated that I was faking my mental illness and using it as strategy. Um, so there are people in the OR community who have used mental health and mental illnesses as strategy. Um, and frankly, I find that absolutely disgusting because people deal with these things that are trying to pull them down every day, and then you want to use that to pull, like, fuck, I'm trying to figure out how to word this because, like, I want this to be like a lesson to people because what happened last night is completely uncalled for, and it brought a personal thing into game thing. And then people are going to say, oh, well, you shouldn't have brought your depression into the game. Well, I didn't bring it into the game. Like, I can't, that's a part of who I am, and it's going to drive how I make decisions. It's going to drive, it's at least going to have a little bit of influence on how I make decisions, how I go about certain situations. But never would I ever use it to try to manipulate someone or try to influence another person game wise to do something else. I have been in an emotionally abusive relationship where they not only used their mental health to manipulate me, but they also used my mental health to bring around back to manipulate myself. Like again. And I've been the brunt of that. And so I vowed never to one use my mental health and or my mental disability. I don't even want to say disability, my mental illness to manipulate someone or make someone feel sorry for me. That's just who I am. It's a part of me and it's never going to leave. And there's nothing that I can do about it. I can wake up every day, strive to do better, strive to make myself better, try to force myself to be happier, put myself in situations to where I'm a happier person. But the end all be all, that is a part of my brain chemistry. That was is a part of my brain chemistry that I was born with. That is a part of my brain chemistry that was derived from a traumatic childhood. That is a part of who I am, and nothing can ever take that away. But it is not who I am. And there are going to be people who try to use that against you and try to take what that part about you and make you suffer for it, even though you already suffer because of it. And it's not that that is okay because it's not, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen to everyone who experiences mental illness. And the somber side of it is that there's not really anyone can do about it, but it does help to constantly remind yourself that they're making an ass out of themselves. We know what we struggle with. We know day in and day out what holds us down. Don't let another person hold you down and add more weight to you even more and use that against you. You know, on a scale like the old fashioned scales where it's like that, and you have like a 10,000 pound anvil of depression on one side, it's going to push it down. There are going to be people who come across in your life to try to also push that down with their hand. And it's going to be painful. It's going to suffer. Like, it's going to be an extraordinary amount of pain that you're going to have, that everyone's going to have to deal with. But once you are able to sort of lift that weight, it's also important to keep in mind that there will be also be other people to come into your life to slap that hand across to that's holding down the weight. Like, take that hand, push it to the side. There's gonna be other people to help you with that. And don't also forget that we have hands ourselves. We can fucking remove that piece of weight. We suffer and are in pain, but that doesn't mean that we're helpless and can't be our own bandages as well. We're bleeding and are suffering and everything of that nature, but just wrap ourselves up. Maybe not as good as new. It'll take some time to heal, but it will be okay if you are able to bend yourself up and push forward and take that hand that was pushing down the weight and just completely discard it. Now, I'm not saying that Corey was outright trying to just defame my character or hold me down of any of that nature. But he said what he said, and it was in the heat of the moment. I don't think that he thinks that about me personally, um, because he doesn't know me personally. He doesn't know me, what I would do, what I do with my mental illness, how I strive to help people who struggle with it. He just doesn't know. And that's okay because people are going to be ignorant and say things that are ignorant and doesn't have your best interest in mind. And so with that in mind, I do forgive Corey because what he said was ignorant. What he said was a lack of thinking about how I would feel about the situation because he wasn't thinking about how I would react. He was only thinking about himself. And that is the dangerous part of mental illness is because Corey does suffer through it himself, which sucks that he said that about me, what he said, but that's also the sad part about mental illness is that you can take your mental illness, the pain and suffering that you've dealt with for years, maybe your entire life, and use that against other people. That is something that people do. And intentional or unintentional, that's what Corey tried to do. But I don't think he meant anything malicious out of it. I think if he just gave it a second thought, talk to me first, then he would retract that statement. Because I know I'm a bomb ass person. I know that I'm funny. I know that I am adorable. I know that I am an all around pretty great person. But things like that still get to me. And I let it get to me last night. And I'm sure that my mental breakdown was recorded and everything. But it also, the alcohol didn't really help. Uh, but I don't blame Corey. He made a stupid decision. He made a stupid personal attack. And he apologized. So I'm over it. What's going to be annoying is people constantly talking to me and asking me if I'm okay because of everything that happened. That's going to be irritating. Because I'm okay now, but people aren't expecting me to. Um, Game aside, or person, um, personal shit aside. Sorry, I said the complete opposite of what I meant. Um, it looks like the chaotic energy and actions that I was taking a part of caught up to me, but I don't really care because it was fun. Uh, Sorry. I don't really care that that shit caught up with me. Sorry, were you about to say something?
No, 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 I didn't know. I thought you were stopping there. So I was about to ask a question. You're good. Keep going.
Oh, no, like I don't really care that all that chaotic shit that I was doing caught up with me. If anything, I think this is the first time in an org where I've been over the top, over the top, over the top, over the top. Like every round, except for the first one, I think. Because, like, the two random votes wouldn't have happened without me. The blind side on Deshaun wouldn't have happened without my indirect causing. And then that tie vote that turned into rocks wouldn't have happened without my chaotic energy. So it's just like, damn, they really should vote me out. Like, if they were smart, they would vote me out right away. And they should have taken the shot out at me last night, which it's likely that they are going to take a shot at me within the next couple of rounds. I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if I got taken out at live night. I wouldn't be shocked if I got taken out a round after or the round after. Obviously, and of course, my goal is still to make the merge slash a jury, but I've already started on this chaotic train. I kind of can't get off of it. My ticket is good for like the next 3 weeks. So, I mean, I might as well use it. Yeah, you have a question?
Yes. So moving forward now in the game, because Ascendance is a game that constantly changes and is constantly moving forward. And so even though last night was a lot and last night was crazy, probably the craziest night of the season, the game continues. And tonight is a live night. What is your strategy? Are you gonna try to win this mob boss? What are your thoughts doing it? Do you think because of the fact that your name was written down last night, do you think that you're in danger tonight? What's your thoughts going into live night?
I definitely think that I definitely think that I am a big target going into this live night. Um, I, yeah, I actually do think that answered your question. Well, my plan going into live night is basically just butter people up and just, I guess, try to talk to the people who are obviously being used and everything, like Gianna, Lana. Uh, I mean, I would say Alex, but um, I mean, they're obviously being used for other people's purposes. And long term, I can see how that is a valid strategy, but at the same time, it's very annoying to watch when you're the person that is not letting other people dictate what you do. So I guess my plan going into live night would be just butter people up. Be like, even if they voted against me, I'd be like, okay, thanks for going to Rocks. Like, even Gianna, who I'm pretty sure voted for Brandon and then voted for me, I like, I would not be upset, or sorry, I would not be against like even going to her and then acting like she voted to keep me, even though I know probably she voted against me. But I'll do whatever I can to butter people up and make them think that I have their best interest in mind because more than likely, Alex, Corey, and Folsey are going around saying how I have all these people wrapped around my finger. And I don't think the pair of me and Braden is not so hidden anymore. So, yeah. Also, there's a very good chance that Braden's gonna win Mob Boss again. So I feel like that would also be extremely dangerous for me. So I want to win Mob Boss. Like, yeah, I really want to win Mob Boss.
If you were to win Mob Boss, how would you switch? Like, what would be your strategy with switching the teams up and such? Like, you don't have to give me a person by person, but what would be your strategy with it? Like, who would you want to target?
I have no idea. I have no clue. I probably should come up with something, huh?
Live nights in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Um, so we do have some viewer lounge questions. We are getting close to a half hour, which is fine. It was a good conversation. We needed to have a conversation. Sometimes when crazy things happen, you just need to let it all out. So very
Viewers
good.
love questions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All
Let's
right.
Give me 1 second. I have to find them now because they got bumped down. Oh, there they are. All right. So we have a question. It says, "Do you feel going to Rocks was good for you? Are you happy with the result?" I feel like this is simple, but hey, I'm gonna respect the VO.
Can I know who said that?
No.
Damn. um, I have no idea. As simple, like you said that it was a simple question, but I don't have a simple answer.
That's a sentence. It's not a simple game.
I I mean, it was better than me getting voted out. And like as batshit crazy as it was, and as I am, it I think it was good for me based off the fact that I'm back in the position where I don't have that many numbers. And Blake was one of my numbers. And so that result, who got rocked out, could have been 10 times better. Uh, I would have preferred Falsey. Um, yeah, that result could have been 10 times better. And so I just, that result was bad. But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
what are you going to do? It's rocks.
It is rocks.
I would rather that happen than me going home.
Very valid. So another viewer, the final viewers lounge question: do you feel as if now your target has become bigger and will remain, or can you figure out a way to make that target smaller moving forward?
I think that my target is extremely big right now. Um, but I think there is a way. It's not going to immediately go back to smaller or to small, but I do think there is a way for me to gradually get my huge ass target and slowly shrink it round by round. It just, there's a lot of components into who wins mob boss, who, what mob I get put on, if I get with people who I can talk to, influence to keep me. Because the thing is that if I get onto a mob with Falsey, I won't be able to manipulate her. I won't be able to whisper sweet nothings into her. She won't believe any of them. Same with Alex. Those two will never be on my side in this game anymore. Corey, I actually think I can get him on my side eventually, definitely not during live night. I also don't think that I could get Maddie on my side or Logan. So if I get lucky enough to get on a mob with anyone else, I think there is a big possibility that I can talk to them again, whisper sweet nothings in their ear, and get me a little further while also shrinking my target. Because it's very risky business to be shady on the level, on like with the format of targets. Because with being shady, you can, there's a very big possibility of only increasing your target. Whereas my target is already huge as fuck. So if it goes up anymore, I'm out of the game. You know? So it's very risky business, but I think I may be able to do it. If that answered your question.
Oh, all right. And do you have any final statements, comments before we wrap this up?
Um, y'all bitches better be liking the game that I've been playing so far, cause like there there's been nothing compared to what I've been playing. Like I think this is the most chaotic game I've ever played, and I'm enjoying being a little bitch. I'm enjoying being that little annoying gnat in people's ear that is just constantly annoying. Game wise, it's fun, and anyone else who has done this before can support me on that. So I'm hoping that I'm at least enjoying product. entertaining production or the viewers. The fact that I got two viewers' questions, I think help support the fact that I'm entertaining people, but I don't know. I hope I hope that people are happy with what I'm doing.
Alrighty.